What's up again, everybody? Before we get started, I want to give a shout out and a thank you to those of you who hopped on the previous video talking about the Sidekick Infiltrate team and left a comment with your ideas. I want to give all of these ideas a try because I love the different things that you guys suggested and came up with, like Jason saying we should have used Lead a Fan Favorite. That seems pretty cool. Giving Cloak of Elvenkind a try from Carl. I still think that's pretty sweet. I may just throw that on there in place of the energy field thing. Flop flipping, something like that. Flip flopping those around. Petrus, what's up, man? Thank you for supporting the channel both with comments and being a patron. You're awesome. And Troy, given his insight, he actually is running this, or did you just previously run this? As one of the two teams he had, so I'm assuming he was running this as one of the two-team takedown teams that he'd had previously. So thank you guys for the comments and keep them coming. Anybody else that wants to hop on, check that video out, feel free. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about finishing up this retrospective, talking a little bit more about the sets that are rotating in like 7 days. 7 days. Some of these sets are rapidly, I guess all of these sets are rapidly moving towards the golden age. So it's time to wrap this thing up. We're going to talk about the Thor set. Oh no, wait. Wasn't Tomb of Annihilation? I think Tomb of Annihilation came out first, didn't it? Yeah, I think it did. Tomb of Annihilation, I guess is what we're doing, which is a sweet set. Both this one and the Thor set were just like really, really good. This one gets a lot of flack for having super rare and common Yanti in it, but I don't think you should judge it by those two single cards because this set was sweet. Like, for example, Burning Hands, giving you that ability to play this as a win condition. This was pretty sweet. I still want to play, because now we have Create Bonfire, which is the new Burning Hands, right? The reprint. And there's some people playing, like, Bonfire teams, and I gotta try one. I've had it played against me, but I've not played it myself. This is a pretty sweet card. I'm a fan. I can't talk apparently, so let me drink some coffee. Don't ask me what time this is, okay? Don't ask me. Yes, this is a Starbucks cup. My wife had to go out to pick up some essential things and swung through the Starbucks drive-thru, which is pretty cool. I'll take it. Speaking of, one of the memeiest cards out there, Candlekeep, a 4-cost basic action that can either ramp or churn you. Well, I guess it's technically both ramp and churn. It can either ramp you or it can ramp you. Depends on which one you choose. I love choose one effects. I think this should be like a thing going forward. Choose one is super cool. Cone of Cold is in here. Don't want to skip over Cone of Cold. I don't like this art. I don't like this art. And I haven't played Cone of Cold as like an actual action in like 4 years. It's been 4 years since I've purchased and played of Cone of Cold. Oh, Create Food and Water's gone. You know, it was funny. I was sitting down to like make new modern teams, and Create Food and Water like popped into my mind. I was like, hey, I'll slam that down. This will be perfect. And then I realized it rotated, or it will rotate in like 7 days. And I was just really sad for that split second. Because of the draw dice from your bag until you've drawn a non-NPC, I actually wanted to use the effect of Create Food and Water for once. And spoiler alert, it's going to rotate, so you can't use it in Modern 2020. Bummer. Guardian of Faith. This is a kind of an interesting card. I played some games. I don't remember who I played them against, but I remember Guardian of Faith like being purchased and used, and it's like really annoying to play around. It's really, maybe it was in draft, because this was a draft set. Important to note, Tomb of Annihilation, totally a draft pack set, of which we're moving towards once Infinity Gauntlet gets released. Heavy Armor, never played it. Never played that one. Heist, classic. It's a great card. I like this art better than the New School Heist, though the drow on that New School one are pretty sweet. This one just gives you that feeling of like, oh yeah, they're stealing something. Love that. Holy Avenger, also never played this, even though I picked it up in draft a few times because it's in the pack that you get. I literally just never bought it and played it. Improvised Weapon. Oh man, you guys remember Improvised Weapon with like common Yanti? That's pretty legit. 1-cost basic action too. You gotta remember that's like super rare. Super rare to have 1-cost basic actions. Scorching Ray. That one's pretty cool too. Pretty cool as well. And then you get into like the characters, which were all super, like, I just feel like these were super interesting. Like, it had a lot of back and forth like alignment play, It had some interesting, like, back and forth monster to adventurer play, which I don't think they did a very good job of in what was the previous Faerun Under Siege. I think I remember that being like underwhelmed by the monster versus adventurer kind of thing, which I think they did a good job of in this set, and the Trouble in Waterdeep. I think both of those were really cool. Sararak got a tune introduced in this set, which is pretty cool. Let's see, any of these most interesting ones. I once, okay, so this is a funny story with Allosaurus Common. I once played in a draft event. It was casual. It was like 4 of us. We just wanted to like play some random games. So we all bought 4 packs, and I ended up with a pack that, or I think maybe I just drafted. I can't remember. Maybe it was sealed. Either way, I ended up with 4 dice for Allosaurus, and I ran the common, and I was up against my good buddy Chris Club, and he had common Yanti and like some other really good, like create food and water, and I think he might have even had like one of the equipable basic actions. Basically, he was like stacked. It was like ridiculous, and I was like, really, seriously, that's what you end up with? That's like so good. I think we were playing sealed. I think he just packed it, and all that stuff was all together. And so I literally just turn 1 bought an Allosaurus, turn 2 bought an Allosaurus, turn 3 rolled the Allosaurus that I pulled from the bag, bought another Allosaurus, and like fielded this one and attacked, and it went through unblocked. I think I literally killed him on like turn 6 or 7 because I just bought Allosaurus, and the 5/5 for one side is just super solid in draft. Come on, you just throw them at your opponent, you get 4 of those to go through, and you're good to go. It was sweet. Dodged the bullet because he was about to just like murder my face with Yanti Attune unblockable stuff. The last time we saw Fabricate was in this set, and now it's going to rotate. Auto KOs with Fabricate, man. That's some good stuff. Artist Ember. This one had like the alignment stuff with evil. That was kind of interesting. Yeah. The uncommon Basilisk. Everyone knows that one. Oh, Batiri Battle Stacks hitting the road. That's kind of sad. This was a fun win condition. Bird Song. Uncommon Bird Song's gone now too. We'll get to that one. Pirates. For Reg out there. No more pirates. Sorry, buddy. That's a bummer. Enjoy them for the last 7 days, right? Because you got that one, and there's just no other pirate. Kind of a bummer. Like, it just doesn't make sense why you'd make like a handful and then have no more pirates. Yeah, it is what it is. Twingas are gone. Your 1-cost bolt maker is no longer. The doppelgangers were always kind of interesting. Like, I have the super rare sitting on my desk over there because I pulled it sometime recently. I can't remember. Anyway, I have it sitting over there, and they were kind of interesting. I think the common one's actually like the best one, isn't it? Yes, the common one's actually the best. It's better than the super rare. So go common. This one's kind of cool. Okay, so shout out to the DM North guys. Jordo played on the WDA. He played a team where you were literally, I forgot what it was, like what event it was, but your goal was literally to just put out Dragon Statue Trap here, the common, and have your opponent attack you. And when they attack, you saved up a bunch of energy from the previous turn. You pay it all, and you wipe their board, and then you're just good to go on your turn. I think that's super cool. That was a really cool thing. Look up, he wrote like a thing on it, so look it up. Article on dmnorth.com, dm-north.com. Shout out to them. The Dragonborn Sorcerer, the common one, I think the uncommon one was the really good. Man, uncommon was really good in this set. It's like super good. I always liked this one in draft too. If you could handle this one in draft or sealed, you just run with it because you just get one dragon and this out, and she just starts making herself larger. Pretty cool. The Finthaza, pretty good. Man, this set's so good. Gold Dragon, we can skip over because nobody likes that card, right? Goliath Fighter, Goodbye, Green Devil Mask. We're going to take like a moment of silence. That was his moment. I hope he basked in it. Human Outlander. This one was kind of cool. The rare was the one that I tried to make a combo out of. Kobold Trap. It's pretty cool. I like the traps in general. I like traps. I think it's a cool mechanism for the game to have. It's a continuous die that you can't trigger, that your opponent can trigger. Of course, there is that one called God Catcher that you can trigger, and that one's pretty cheap. But the other ones are awesome. Or at least the design is cool. Pseudo Dragon. The other Pseudo Dragons were better, but this one's not bad. Queen Grab Stab teams. There were like several options for this. This was one of them. It's kind of interesting. I'm trying not to skip over any like big characters, but some of these were like meh. This one's kind of cool because you could like put things like the sword onto him like immediately for cheap. Red Dragon. He didn't have as much play because you had to play him against adventurers. Silver Dragon Rare. Common's okay. Skeleton Key. Everyone wanted this one to work, but it never really did because you're playing this against like Green Devil Mask and it comes down and actually triggers the Green Devil Mask before it removes it. Kind of a bummer. More Fabricate gone. Tabaxi Rogue. Into the Sunset. Joe, I know, I'm sorry, I feel your pain, but I don't feel it that much. Tomb Dwarf. Trap dice cost 2 less, so you can buy more of them. Tomb Guardian. The Fabricate. I like the rare one because it turned off or made globals harder to use. Okay, we're about to get to a card that or character I should say, that I wanted to make work. And that's Tyrannosaurus Zombie. And I don't think it was this one. It was the, I mean, this one's kind of cool too because it just takes all the stuff. It was the uncommon, right? We'll get to it eventually. The uncommon was like the spicy one. Energy Drain and Attune on Valendra. Then you have Zendala Ember, which was like the counter, but it was the uncommon? Yeah, I think it was the uncommon. Or maybe it was rare Zendala Ember. The counter, the soft counter, the play around to the super rare Yuan-Ti. Speaking of Yuan-Ti, we have the Abomination, which was never good, and it always got wheeled to you in draft, and it always was your last pick in draft because he was terrible. But then, the first pick, pack one, pick one, Yuan-Ti Pureblood Common. Unblockable Attune, this card is on the way out, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Okay, the zombies were kind of cool. This one's interesting. When it KOs an NPC character, aka a sidekick, choose one. Either field a zombie from used on level 2, or spin all of your zombies up 1. Generally, you field from used, because that was powerful. I like the rare Paladin better. You don't have your reroll action global anymore, which is a bummer for some people. Like me, I like that. Gets +2 attack, but he's 5, not very good. Allosaurus. This was the one you would run if the rare messed your team up. You would run the uncommon, right? Or maybe you'd run the common, I can't remember. Blah, no one cares because everyone cares about the Basilisk. When he attacks, target posing character die must block. It doesn't say it must block the Basilisk, but the fact that you can just attack with him and pull something out and deadly will KO it is pretty sweet. That was a good one in draft. Very, very good in draft. Batiri Battle Stack, uncommon, was also solid. This was the one that thinned your used pile of sidekicks. That was kind of cool, but it wasn't as good as the common. This one was very cool. You play the bird song bomb team. You make your bird songs cheaper. You make all of your characters like stronger to attack with. You stat flip them. Pretty cool. There's more your pirate boys. Your pirate boys. Uncommon Twingo never saw play because the other ones did, which is funny. Doppelganger number 2. I don't think this one was good either. No. Yeah, with the lowest purchase cost. Yeah, that one wasn't as good. Dragon Statue Trap. This one wasn't as good. Move an unpurchased dragon character die from one of your cards to the fields on a level 3 and then put it back. So you get a dragon as a defender, but that's like one guy. This was the spicy. Look at this. Look at the wall of text on it. It's crazy. Experience attune while it's active. When your action dice deal damage to a character die or player, increase that damage by 1. So it ups it a little bit. That's just ridiculous. This was the one that was played though, right? Wasn't it? I think it was this one that was played more often. Experience attune is pretty good. That was on the, in fact, that was on my original attune team when I was playing the super rare Yuan-Ti. It was triple attune. It was this, it was Zendalis Ember, and it was Yuan-Ti Pureblood super rare. I ran all 3 of those, and I tried to play it like a combo team where you get them all out and then you blow up your opponent all in one turn. But it's just better the other way. It's just better to win with the other girl. She's just too good. Fenthaza, this stat flip one was really... Oh, no, the shield. Yeah, it stat flipped everything. Any shield character die got it stat flipped, including herself, which is pretty sweet. So, or it didn't really stat flip. It matches, I guess is the better way to say it. So her 1/4 side becomes a 4/4. So even just as, like, by itself, this is a solid character. Pretty cool. This one was a good one in draft, especially if you can get some shield characters alongside of it. Oh, I skipped over the Frost Giant from the common slot. No one cares. I don't, because Frost Giant, who cares, right? Breath Weapon damages their stuff. That's a spicy thing. You know, didn't really ever do anything, but that's kind of a cool idea. It's interesting to read some of these cards again. It's like this one was pretty good because you didn't see some of these get played like at all. Prep 3 dice from your bag. There you go. Human Outlander was here. This one was a good one in draft too. Anything that gives your sidekicks a buff is a like keeper in draft. Fields and Adventurer is pointless outside of the set. Poison Dart Trap, those were fun. That one's fine-ish. Okay, so this was a pretty decent one in draft. Pseudo Dragon is a 2-drop that could prep if you got other attuned characters along with it. The rare was like the best though. This one was so weird because there was this ability that you could combo with like one of the, I think it was one of the, what do you call it? Batiri battle stacks that did the same thing. So people were like, do these stack? Is it one or the other? It was kind of weird, like the wording of it. This one was spicy. I like this one. Isn't there one that dealt damage? Did the rare one deal damage? Meh, not so good. Anti-breath weapon, never a thing. Skeleton key, number 2. Kind of a weird one. Doesn't really matter. Stone Golem. This one was pretty good because it would redirect damage from character dice to it, which is pretty cool. Uncommon Tabaxi Rogue. Oh yeah, you move a trap. It's kind of cool. That would be good nowadays if it was still around. You move it, you just field this and move, you know, one of those god catchers out. See, that'd be pretty good. Why isn't this still around? These would also be pretty interesting. Like you prep your god catcher nowadays. It's kind of interesting. Don't really matter that much. The Triceratops were like okay. The super rare was pretty decent in limited formats. Okay. When fielded, you may purchase a zombie character die for free and immediately field it at level 2. And it says field it, so that means the rare zombie, I think it says like when fielded, KO a sidekick, do a thing. Like that was the combo that I wanted. And it never quite really worked the way I wanted it to, but it was kind of cool. I like this card. I wish this card were still around so I can mess with it more. But, you know, you have to have more zombie options, and there's not a ton of zombie options in Modern, so maybe it's better that it's in Golden so you have access to all of the zombies from the previous sets. Blah, blah, blah. No one cares about her. Zendalis Ember. Oh, it's this one. It was the uncommon. It wasn't rare Zendala. It was uncommon. And it was because she was good because if she would be KO'd, you just wipe her if there's a good character in the field. Which, if they were running the Pseudo Dragon, there was. Let's see. Yuan-Ti Abomination attacks, KO target sidekick. A 5-drop that does that. No, thank you. This one couldn't be targeted by action dice or globals, which is kind of cool. It saw a little bit of fringe play, like in that mid-range kind of tournament level. A lot of online tournaments, people experimented with it, especially because they would try playing this like against other action-based attuned characters, so that like she couldn't get popped. And then there's the uncommon zombie, which had regenerate, which was terrible. Oh, this one was so good. If they had an evil character die in the field, I should say, your sidekicks would immediately become 3/2s. 3/2s. That's pretty good. And it's a 3-drop too. In draft, this was worth it every time. This one, I actually used this once. I can't remember how I got 7. I think I rolled an action die, something like that. But I actually used this in a draft, and I got like constructs in the form of golems out and a trap die or something like that. It's pretty cool. Pretty sweet. Overcrush is always good in draft, so always remember that. This was the one that was kind of weird because sometimes you need to fabricate 2 specific things, and this one reduced the fabricate cost by 1 across the board, and that messes with what your choices are for fabricating. So this one, sometimes people put it on and we're like, ah, crap, that doesn't work. But it does, when you purchase a die with fabricate, gain 2 life. It does have that effect on it, which is kind of cool. I can't remember if I ever used an Artist's Ember. I know I played one in a draft because I drafted this a lot. I know I played like a common one. Reroll all active NPC character dice. Move any that show energy. That's pretty cool. I like that one. In draft, you're normally like fielding your sidekicks to try and get them out, so you can use them as blockers, or you can thin your bag. So this is a pretty good little tech against that. While Queen Grab Stab is active, they get +1/+1, and when Swarm ability is triggered. It was this one. Okay, so it says draw 2 dice instead of 1, and then the other Grab Stab says draw 2 dice instead of 1 when Swarm is triggered. So like, do they stack? Are they the same effect? So only one time? It's a really great question that I don't have an answer to. I bet you somebody does, though. Yeah. I'm going to scan through the rest of these. You got your rare pirates over there. You've got your rare Twingo, which is gone. I still remember when I figured out that the non-combat damage portion doesn't affect like auto KOs. Like auto KOs can't trigger that, which is really sucky. So you had to use bolts to pay and ping these off for like Magic Missile, which is in this set. I think I skipped over that one. Wow. Hold on. How did I skip over Magic Missile? Oh, I skipped over Insect Plague too. Goodness gracious. When you click and it jumps those spots, you cannot skip over Insect Plague. Come on, DM Armada. This one was sweet, and I'm so glad this stupid global is going away. That global is stupid. And Magic Missile. This global is not as stupid, but it's still pretty stupid. So it's good to see this one go. I actually don't like this card in draft at all. I think this card's terrible in draft because it just encourages you to buy this and then throw them at your opponent. And whoever gets more of them usually wins, which is why that card's stupid. We left off with Twingo, Dragon Statue Trap, Rare. This one, actually, I remember this one. This one's cool. You rolled all your dragons in the used. But it's just so hard to get dragons. Unless you have some cheap dragons or dragon makers. Dragon cheapeners. That's a thing now. That's kind of cool. That one's okay. This would be better if the Pseudo Dragon counted as a dragon, but it's a familiar. The subtitle says like Paragon Familiar, so it doesn't count. So this one sucks. It doesn't suck, but it's not as good. My straw is broken. Bummer. Attune. While she's active, when you use an action die character dice you control, gain +1 attack. Okay, I got beat by this card against Shadow Meld. He played this and a bunch of control pieces and a bunch of like action dice that were cheap that ramped him or something like that. And he just made all of his stuff. Oh no, it was like they cleared. And he just made all of his stuff super buff. All of his like shield characters like super buff. It was a pretty sweet team. And it was really annoying because like you couldn't do anything to stop it. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Shout out to him. Rare Frost Giant. Deal 4 to all adventurers. Nobody cares. This card. Ben. It's your card, man. It's your card. Sorry to see it go for you. Sorry to see it go for you. The art on this one, look at the leg. It's like so gold. It's so like molten looking. It's pretty cool. Goliath Fighter rare. I don't remember that one being in anything interesting. 3 or more of your character dice are KO'd. Just return them. Rare Kobold Trap. This one was used for a bit, right? Oh, maybe not. Maybe it was the common Kobold Trap. I think that's the one that was used. KO any attacking level 1 character dice. Man, this was a great counter to Godcatcher. That is now not a counter to Godcatcher because it's going to Golden. How dumb. Straw works again. Go us. Ooh, this video's getting long. 26 minutes in. Look at us go. I'm going to skip around now. We're skipping the Skeleton Key rare, which is kind of interesting. I tried to make that work once. Over to the... Oh, we skipped the Stone Golem rare. This one had this global. You pop each other for 1. Tabaxi Rogue rare. Oh, I can't skip over this one. Boom. The Silver Dragon. Oh, man. I still remember it was like 3 years ago. I went down to San Antonio and they played a Golden Age tournament at Night Watch Games. If you're ever in San Antonio and the ban is lifted and you can go places, check out Night Watch Games. They had some pretty sweet. They have a pretty sweet like play area. Anyway, I played this with Ring of Winter and a bunch of like 4-cost dragons. So this made them like cheaper and like swarmy, and they had just all come down when you play the Ring of Winter. It was really cool. Really, really cool. I like this card a lot, and it's sad to see it go a little bit. But, you know, it is what it is, right? Tomb Dwarf. Oh, the Tomb Guardian. We should talk about that one. This one was cool. While he's active, globals cost 1 extra to use. That's pretty good. Was this one good? At the start of your turn, field. Oh, this one had a cool combo too. So you field your NPCs from your use. So you could trigger like a lot of different stuff from that. Because you just, at the start of your turn, get to use it, which is pretty sweet. You had a couple of other things in here. No, Zendala. Rare Zendala. Once you attack, draw 2 dice from your bag. When you roll an action die, or you may roll an action die you drew if you drew one. No one cares about the Abomination. Where's the Yanti? Oh, there is no Yanti Pureblood rare because the super rare. I think it was this one. Yeah, when you field an NPC, you can roll a zombie. If it comes up, then you KO the fielded NPC, and you put the zombie in there. And there were some other cool combos, like with this. Okay, so for example, there was like a Battle for Ultramar. What was he? He was like a 2-drop Plague Marine, and when an NPC that you controlled or like a sidekick was KO'd, he would bring himself in on level 2. So you could do this. You could have a zombie and a Plague Marine in the used pile, and then field a sidekick on your turn. And when you do, you roll the zombie, and if it comes up, you KO the sidekick, field the zombie, and then field the Plague Marine for the KO'd sidekick. So field 2 characters just for fielding and KOing a sidekick. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool little combo. It's great with the old school Golden Age Human Torch. That's pretty cool. Because anytime you fielded a character, he would deal like 1 or 2 damage. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Pretty nifty. People say that still, right? I have this one sitting literally right there. It's not very good. Oh, Triceratops. I pulled this one out of a box. It's a good one. I don't actually have all the super rares, I don't think. I don't think I have Kier Sabal. I think. I don't think I have this next one either. I don't have her. But she's kind of cool. Got this one. I definitely have this one. It's a pretty sweet card. I bought like one of the last packs left over, the last draft pack in the box from one of the times that we were drafting, and opened it up and got this one. It was pretty nice. Kier Sabal. Okay, so this represents a really interesting time in the design of Dice Masters. A time where they didn't want to use tokens to their fullest extent. So they had you pull sidekicks from your used, put them on the question mark side, and consider them 3/3 character dice. 3/3, 3 attack, 3 defense. What a bonkers way to do. The nice thing though about this is like you KO'd them at the end of your turn, so it like prepped 2 essentially. But very weird, because you couldn't use the ability if you didn't have sidekicks in your used. I think I would have just taken like a 4-drop action that made 2 3/3 tokens that stuck around. I think that would be cooler. Oh, This was the first super rare I pulled from this. No, scratch that. It was the second super rare that I pulled from this set. The first one was this one. The second one was this one. And I'm so sad that this is rotating because I love this card. It's so pretty. And the die is pretty. It looks like a little donut down there. Oh, it's delicious. And the Soulmonger, which I did actually play and make work a little bit. And then finally, the final card of the set is the promo card that you'd get if you bought a box of the set, I think, right? Pretty sure. Anyway, Brazen Pegasus. Up to 2 target character dice you control can only be blocked by 2 or more character dice. So it made things harder to block and has never seen play, right? I don't think I've ever seen it. So this was Tomb of Annihilation. After Tomb of Annihilation comes the Thor set. And with the Thor set comes rotation. So we are 1 set away from rotation, and we are 7 days away, or maybe 8, I don't know, it depends on when this goes up, from rotation. So we're getting very close to having a brand new meta officially. People have been playing it like for a month and a half since they announced it, but officially we're getting very close. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a comment, give me a like or a subscribe. It helps with the channel. It helps with Dice Masters being shown to a lot more people. So feel free to do that and push the game out to as many people as possible. As always, everybody, thanks for watching.